Man, look at that. Look at that. The Xbox One. Holding everything bellows. Oh, man. Man, look at that. Look at that. The Xbox One. Holding everything bellows. Shit. Never mind. Oh, man. Man, look at that. Look at that. The Xbox One. Holding everything bellows. Shit. Never mind. Hey, remember when we told you guys that it was...
Look at that. Look at that. Held back by last gen. Yeah, that's the truth. I guess some people took a little bit of offense to me posting Dealer Gaming, his actual tweet, his actual audio and video where he was thumping his chest about being right until he found out that what was being looked at wasn't even in engine, let alone in game. Now, for certain, the Halo Infinite game that we saw yesterday looked better than what was previously shown. But does it look like a 12 teraflop monster-eating, $500 million, thousands of developers, 6+ years development time game? No, it does not. And I would think anybody that thinks that it looks great or looks graphically demanding is a stone-cold freaking liar. But that's not really much of a surprise. A lot of people that support people like RDX who claim to drop facts but avoid confrontation. Look, I've offered myself to go and talk about these things on their show or on somebody else's show, Next Gens. It doesn't have to be about anything else. We can just discuss the gaming. These guys are wrong all the time. And this is the funny part to me, right? Dealer can go back and delete a tweet and everybody's like, oh man, let's go downvote a Crap Gamer video, even though he's just being factual and using Dealer's own words. But let's go ahead and dislike that. But if Crap Gamer says something that was wrong 6 years ago or turns out to be wrong after 6 years, let's go ahead and chastise and harass the man nonstop, right? I just like to show that there is a huge discrepancy in the way that people kind of act towards me versus other people. I apparently am never allowed to be wrong, but these other people, as long as they're kissing Xbox's ass, can be wrong 24/7. And let me tell you something, when it comes to Dealer and these guys, they've been wrong non-stop. You've got Dealer who has promised in 2020, before the Xbox Series X even launched, saying ridiculous things, absolutely ridiculous things about math, about how the Series X is going to get 40 to 50 frames per second on the GPU alone, in addition to better ray tracing. Talks about it being $100 more expensive, which I guess if you count the digital edition, maybe, but he's probably assuming that they're going to sell the PS5 for $400 in general versus $500. This is the thing that I would say. Microsoft hasn't even put ray tracing on their first-party games. I mean, what games to begin with? But better ray tracing, that's not really been a thing for the Xbox. 40 to 50 frames per second on... Where is this advantage at? We are a year into the generation, and I would defy anybody to show me where this advantage is at on a current-gen game. Let's not talk about the last gen stuff, right? Because we already know when it comes to the last gen stuff, Microsoft was very smart in preparing for things like 120 frames per second, making sure that even though the Xbox One couldn't run 120 frames per second, that they at least set up their SKUs for that so that it'd be easy to implement via backwards compatibility. And we know that it takes more than a simple patch to do that. So kudos to Microsoft on that. And, you know, that's a bad sore spot for Sony. But at the same time, where's this huge delta? And you even had people like Colt Leastwood talking about 30% advantage and all this stuff. Please show me a 30% advantage where it's a clear-cut advantage. You're talking a huge advantage there, not something that's going to be 1850p on PlayStation and, you know, a native 4K on Xbox. That's not a huge advantage. This isn't a 720p situation. Where are these huge advantages? Where are these 40 to 50 frames per second differences on current-gen games for the Xbox versus the PlayStation? In fact, most games that have been kind of looked at are so close that Digital Foundry has said it doesn't matter where you played them. And the PlayStation 5 has actually won some face-offs. How can a console that's allegedly 30% weaker, how can this happen? How can a console that's 30% weaker beat the console that's supposedly 30% more powerful and have all this huge delta and all these things that are going to make it that much better. Look, I'm not some super tech guy, but how should that happen at all? Are we going to just keep lazy developers? Is that what we're going to say? Is that the thing now? More tools? Like, we're a year into the console generation. How freaking long do we got to wait for these alleged tools? Where is this huge advantage at? If they're going to show any kind of great looking game, right? If they're going to have any kind, this is a 12 teraflop machine, by the way, and everybody made fun of the rolling ability of the PlayStation 5 because it's variable, etc., and try to make it sound weaker, and they try to go, oh, well, it's only 9 T-flops. Well, how the hell is a 9 T-flop machine kicking the crap out of a 12 T-flop machine? How is that happening? And how has nobody called these guys out yet? Or I haven't seen it. Nobody said much about anything when it comes to this stuff. It's absolutely ridiculous to think that nobody has been able to say, hey, why are we going to these guys for information? I get that they're feeding you positive Xbox news, right? And they spin everything as a positive for Xbox. But when you look at something like Horizon Forbidden West graphically, right? And yes, that's cross-gen, so it's still going to be held back somewhat. Everything that's cross-gen is going to be held back. It's just, that's how it is. Ask any developer, right? Optimus Code, this guy's a developer. Look at developers talking about cross-gen holding things back. Even from a design standpoint, it's holding things back. So you look at Horizon Forbidden West, absolutely gorgeous though. Absolutely stunning to look at. That is a real looker. You look at Ratchet and Clank. You can see the ray trace reflections in the eyes. It's gorgeous. Gorgeous game. Miles Morales, gorgeous game, right? These are games that are pushing graphical boundaries. These are first-party games. Now, let's look at the Microsoft first-party games. Horizon 5 looks good, but it's a racing game, okay? Where's the real lookers showing off 12 T-flops of power? Because it's not Halo, folks. It's not. And don't come to me with that nonsense that Halo was never a good-looking game or any of that stuff. Halo has always been a showpiece for Xbox, right from the start. Halo 3 blew people away. Halo 4 blew people away. Halo 1 and 2 blew people away. Halo Reach, amazing, right? Like, these games look great, especially for their time. Even Halo 2 Anniversary, Halo 1 Anniversary, these games looked amazing. So why is it that if you're looking at Halo 5 screenshots from an Xbox One X from the campaign, why are they looking better than Halo Infinite on a 12 T-flop machine? Or if that was even an Xbox to begin with that we saw, right? They could just be pulling a reverse Sabida double Blue Jay swerve and showing high-end PC, which still didn't look good, by the way. It looked okay. It looked better than before, but that's not some huge win. They had a year and a half to fix things up. They should have been able to do that. And a lot of the things looked like they didn't even have correct textures or anything like that. It was really kind of funny how they worked that out. But, for me personally, I find it to be a little bit hilarious the way that people kind of back up someone who's wrong all the time. And you know what? Listen, I've laid this out before numerous times. It doesn't matter who it is. If you want to talk video games, then let's not get personal. Let's not get any of that stuff. Next Gen's channel, whoever's channel, Mooch's channel, it could be a neutral channel, doesn't matter. Right? Let's talk about this stuff. Talk about with someone who's a little bit competent in their knowledge about video games, right? Like, for real, I don't understand the hesitancy there, unless it's fear of getting exposed for not being very much up to par with where these things are at. Like, anybody can sit there and go, well, the delta going on here, and then the 30, and then the simple math, and I can't wait to play Crackdown 3 for hundreds of hours and make ridiculous claims like that. Anyone can do that crap. But I think it takes guts and a man to go toe-to-toe. Ain't that right, Ryan? So let's see if you got the guts, man. Let's see. Like I've said a million times, you can have a kabillion subscribers and give a kabillion downvotes. It doesn't make you right at the end of the day. And Halo, while looking better than it did, is not saying much, right? It's like putting lettuce on a turd sandwich. It's probably going to taste a little bit better, but it's not going to taste like a pizza, is it? You know what I mean? Dealer gaming and facts don't go together. It's like Crapgamer and skinny. Those things don't go together, okay? It's like Joe Biden and mental capacity. Those things don't go together. It's like, You know what I'm saying? It's like Fucci and not being a POS that abuses animals. You know, it don't go together. I'm sorry. Those things just don't mix. It doesn't mix. So for anybody who got a little bit butthurt over his own words, hey, that sounds like a you problem from the get-go. The only thing I can say is maybe quit building up these YouTubers as something that they're not. They're paid influencers. They get paid to influence you to like Xbox, and that's why they get Xbox stuff. Okay? It shouldn't be that much of a, it shouldn't be really that much of a surprise or a shock. With that being said, the game does look better. It'll probably be fun. Is it going to be a game changer? I highly doubt it. I highly doubt it. So, with that being said, take it easy. If you enjoy the content, consider subscribing. Rack 'em up, fact 'em up, crap gamer 'em up, crap gamer out.
Turns out, the same people as always, dropping the facts. Turns out, the same people as always, dropping the facts. It's not cross-gen. It just needed more time.